Hello all, Namaskar. Welcome you back to another session of SANNIDHAN. Today we will discuss question number 7 and 8 of section B of that is Indian philosophy of UPSC CSE 2020 philosophy optional paper 1. Okay, so yesterday we had discussed question number 5 and 6. Today we will discuss 7 and 8. Each has 3 sub questions. So total 6 questions we will discuss today. So let's start. Okay. So the number 1, 7a, a mango tree is grown out of mango seed. How will Samkhya system explain this process through their theory of causation by rejecting their rival perspectives? So basically this is a question on the theory of causation, that is the Satkaryavad. In fact, it is not only Satkaryavad, rather it is Prakriti Parinamvad school of Satkaryavad, because here it is asking about the Samkhya view. So Satkaryavad as such would not be proper to say about the Samkhya view, because it is Prakriti Parinamvad. We know that there are other schools of Satkaryavad, and we have all those different schools like the Brahma Vivartavad and Prakriti Brahma Parinamvad and all those things. So so all these things are there. So basically here it is asking about Prakriti Parinamvad. So it is asking a mango tree is grown out of mango seed. So basically when you are writing these answers, please give reference how a mango tree is not equivalent to mango seed. Mango seed is not equivalent to mango tree. So you say how the mango tree is implicitly there in the mango tree, and how do you how the mango tree gets manifested out of that subtle thing that is there in the mango seed. And you say that the whole of the world also comes out of Prakriti, that is Triguna. So here it is asking a mango tree is grown out of mango seed. So you can give the examples that are given, the proofs that were given by Ishwar Krishna's Sankhya Karika, wherein it says that Upadana Grahanat Sarvasambhav Bhavat Karan Bhavat Saktasya Sakta Karnat, and this 5 these things that we have, these 5 proofs that are there. So here you can give the reference, and each while explaining, please try to explain it in terms of mango seed and mango trees. Like for example, Sarvasambhav Bhavat, it says that if anything can be possible. So you can see that mango tree would have grown out of anything. So there is no need of mango seed. So try to give such references in the answer so that it will make the answer very objective and meaning towards the demand of the question. Okay. So you can write that. And it is asking by rejecting the rival perspectives. So here rival perspectives means don't confine yourself only to a Satkaryavad, that is in Nyaya Vaisheshik. Rather also take into consideration of Ramanuja and Shankaracharya, who follow Satkaryavad, that Brahma Vivartavad and all those things. But there are some differences. So you mention them. Please mention the criticisms done by them. Please mention how Samkhya is telling that this theory is the correct one, and you can write them as such. So basically it is a very, if you will go on writing, it is a very big questions. But I'll say what will fetch you mark is if you can modify your arguments, like the standard arguments are there. So because you have to write at the end the Ishwar Krishna's 5 points of causation of Satkaryavad, but you have to modify them as per mango tree and mango seed. This will give your answer beautiful flair, and that will help you get more marks as such, because that is what they are asking. Okay, that is what they are asking. So this is that. Now the next question is, how does Buddhism explain self in terms of Panchskandhas, and what is liberation for Buddhism if there is no soul? So here again it is a very direct question, nothing as such. You can directly start, because it is a 15 mark questions. You can directly start that Buddhism follows in Nairatmavad, that is no eternal soul, and they believe that the soul, or what you can say, that there are Panchskandhas of Hinayana Buddhism. It is a Panchskandhas. So what are the Panchskandhas? They are the Rupa, Vedana, Sangya, Samskar and Vigyan, that is the Nam Rup. Okay, so Nam Rup. So you can mention them, these are the Panchskandhas, and you can say that how they are defining self. You can give the examples of the conversation between Nakshan and Milind. In Milind Panha, what we had discussed day before yesterday. See, there are some parallels, because day before yesterday also we discussed that, and today also we are discussing that. So you can see that the similar type of question is getting repeated in 2021, and we are now discussing 2020. So you can say that just as, because in the discussion Nakshan says that, for example, a chariot contains a wheel, an axle, a flag and all those things. But is the flag the chariot? No. Is the wheel the chariot? No. Is the chariot outside them? No. So what is the chariot? It is the assembly or the assimilation of all those things. In similar way, self is the aggregation of these Panchskandhas, that is the Rup, Vedana, Sangya, Sanskar and Vigyan. So in this way they are describing Panchskandhas. And you can also mention like the fleeting sensations and whatever there, and if possible please do compare with Hume if possible. If you are organically getting, else ignore. And then it is asking what is liberation for Buddhism if there is no soul. So here you can write, here you have to go to Nirvana. Okay, so what is the liberation of Buddhism? It is the cessation of this Panchkandhas. When this Panchkandhas get cessation and there is no vicious cycle again, that is liberation, and we term that as Nirvana. So there are some for example, I have a slok with me. I can tell you that Nibanti Dhira Yathayam Pradipo. That means that cessation of all activities, that is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Somewhere you can find relevance with the yoga school. You say yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Here also it is something like that. Cessation of all activities, that is the Chitta Vritti Nirodha, and of all becoming, that is the Bhava Nirodha. You are not becoming anything now, and all your activities have stopped. This is the Nirvana. That is Nibanti Dhira Yatham Pradipo. Just as what you say, Nibanti Dhira, just as Pradipo, here it is telling in the terms of light. Okay. There are other views also. Nibbanam pada achyutam, that is the highest and indestructible state. Nibbanam aktobhyam, this is the fearless goal. Iha nandati picha nandati, this means gives happiness here and hereafter. And Nibbanam paramam sukham, it is the highest bliss. So this is the liberation. You can, if possible, mention one or two slokas. If not, then also perfectly fine. But say that we can reach there by following the Ashtangik marg. And here you can say that what is Panchkandhas, the Sanghatvad, the fleeting sensations, and all those things, and go organically and very chronologically and logically go towards liberation, and you will be answering both the souls. And later you can write a criticism that of no soul, as well as the what you say, there are the two types of nirvana. Someone is saying it is of extreme bliss, and someone is saying it is nothing like that. So you can also criticize them. There are standard criticism. If you are not getting this also, write the standard criticisms that are there in the book, and you can conclude. Okay. Now the 7 C's explain the differences of conception of reality between Charvak and Jainism. So here it is reality. Reality, if I am telling you, don't think only about what are all the objects. Try to be broad. This is what I understand. I may be wrong, but I feel so, because when you are talking about reality, you are talking about metaphysics. Because here reality means you are telling what exactly is real and what is not real. So what do you believe or take to be real? So here we know that a Charvak only believes that whatever we can perceive. Pratyaksham evam ekam pramanam. Whatever you can perceive is the only reality. However, Jainism has some spiritual things also. They have the jivas, which you cannot feel, which you cannot perceive, but they are believing. So here in reality, you have to talk about metaphysics. And what is metaphysics? We have already discussed. This is God, soul, and world. So please say that Charvak believes that there are no God and all those things. No soul is there. And they believe that the world is fully materialistic. They don't believe adrashta, akas, all those things. Because reality you are talking about, and no heaven and all those things. Like we have all the slokas, I have discussed it n number of times. You can refer to them. And what does Jainism believe? Jainism believes in jivas. Jainism believes in Pudgal. Jainism is a realistic philosophy. So you try to see what all things Jainism believe. The Jainism believes that the world is real. Anekantvad is there. Everyone, animate, inanimate, has some sort of reality. That is the realistic pluralism. The jivas are there, which are which are both plural and singular quantities. So all those things are there, and you can write a very good answer. And while concluding, you can say that these two philosophies have a lot of dissimilarities, and they have enriched the Indian philosophy in somewhat like that of term, or they have brought diversity to the Indian philosophy. And you can end it in this manner. This is a very direct question. You can directly start, because here you are asking differences of conception of reality. You can directly start what is reality, or you can directly say that Jainism believes in means what Jainism and Buddhism, the basic difference between Jainism and Charvak is that Charvak only believes pratyaks, and Jainism believes some other proofs of Pramana as well. So you can directly start with writing what is reality, then you can come to the differences, and you can end it. Just like I said, they both have enriched the Indian philosophy. Okay. Now we have the next question, that is 80. What does Aurobindo mean by life divine as possibility and inevitability? So here Sri Aurobindo has written a book that is called Life Divine also. And here in the book he is describing whole the process of the cosmic salvation, what is called the what can be achieved by the internal yoga. Okay. That is the Purna Advaita, or someone says Pura Advaita. So all these things are there, and this is a very direct question, because it is saying possibility and inevitability. What is possibility? So it is saying, is there a possibility of life being divine, and is it also inevitable? So somewhere the both are there, because possibility is there, and it is undoubtedly inevitable. Why? Because if you will see, he is saying that the supreme entity is the Brahman, which is of the consciousness of which is of the characters of Sat Chit Anand, existence, bliss, and existence, consciousness, and bliss, Sat Chit Anand. And he is saying that by the process of involution, he has moved, descended, and he has formed the life, matter, and mind. So all these things are there. So, but again, someone who has gone through involution, that is descent, he will again rise to the evolution. And why does all these things happen? Out of bliss the whole world is formed. It is there in Upanishad, most probably Taittiriya Upanishad. And this is the justification. This is the Leela of the world. This is the Leela of the Brahman. The world is created out of the Leela. Why does this involution and evolution happen? This is the Leela of the Brahman, in which he conceals himself when he is descending. When he is descending, when he is doing involution, and he reveals himself, he gets manifest. What? Because in the unmanifested he is there, he manifests himself in the descending. But as he ascends, he goes into his true nature. So he is saying that above mind there is something called supermind. This is the basic concept I am just telling you. So he says that when the supermind, because for the mind to evolve into supermind, the supermind first descend to mind, so that it will make mind very lively transformed, and it will radically transform the mind. So he's telling that please listen, because during the evolution where the mind will move upwards, in the same stage only the supermind has to come downwards to pull mind upward. This is the logical term, this is the analogical term I am telling. So in this way he is telling that when the supermind will descend to this realm, this is the life divine. This is where the life will become divine, because we will be Gnostic beings. What is Gnostic beings? It is where we are beyond all the quarrel and all those negative things, because supermind is descended. We are in the realm of supermind now. And what we are currently in the realm of mind. In the evolution, we have to go to supermind. And when we are in that level of supermind, we are Gnostic beings, and it is the life divine. It is the divine life in the society, in the world, that is worth living for. And it is the cosmic salvation. It is not liberation from nature, rather liberation in nature. So this is a very standard questions. You will get all the arguments, you will get all the points in the standard textbook and your notes. Please write them down. You can also include how this life will get divine. There are processes like the psychization, the spiritualization, the supramentalization, the process of heightening, widening and deepening. Everything is there. Please write and you will get a very good answer. Okay. Now it is asking, critically evaluate the logical and metaphysical status of Vishesha in the concept of Vaisheshika philosophy. So this is something that is very direct as such, but we can't write 15 marks, we think, just because of all those things. So let me tell you something that Vishesha is something like, for example, for what terms Vishesha is used. I am just telling you the concepts. Please try to understand. So for example, if I ask you, Vishesha means particularity, okay, you can take that as completely opposite to that of Samanya, that is the universality, okay. So Vishesha is a category of Vaisheshika that we all know, one of the 7 categories. This is fine. You can directly start from this. Vishesha is one of the 7 eternal categories of Vaisheshika. Now what is particularity? For example, I am different from this glass that is behind me. So what makes me different from this glass? I'll say I have an ear, nose, eye and all those things. And I'll ask what is there in the glass. It is something like this, glass particle, this particle, sand particle and all those things I'll say. But these all macro level differences are making us different. For example, let us compare not with the glass but with the door. I have nose, ear, eyes and all those things, and it has the wood and the steel and the glass. So what makes us different? Because by the parts we can separate. But when you will analyze, you will reach to that ultimate entity that is atomic, that is indivisible. So here comes the role of Vishesha, because for compound object, I am compound. You can differentiate two compound objects by analyzing them, by breaking them down into their parts. For example, you broke me down to my body, to my bones, to my hair, to my nose and all those things, and we broke this door into the glass, into the wood and into the steel. But when we'll go on breaking down, we will get into one thing, that is the atom at the end. How do you differentiate two atoms? Because they have no part, they are indivisible, they are atomics. So how do you define? Here comes the role of Vishesha, because Vishesha makes each atom particular. There is a level of particularity in each atom, and that is defined by Vishesha. Just because the atom is eternal, we know that the dravya of the Vaisheshik, it is the substance. The Vishesha is also eternal. So this is something, if you will tell me this definition, it is like Vishesha is the differentium, that is the Vyavartaka of ultimate eternal substances which are otherwise like the Nitya Dravya Vritti. They are the eternal existing substances. They are the ultimate eternal substances which are otherwise alike. Because how do you differentiate one mind from the other? How do you separate one soul from the other? It is from the Vishesha. Because you cannot divide soul again. You cannot divide mind again. To say that this mind has ABC and this mind has XYZ. No, it is mind, it is mind. So how do you differentiate them? So this is the role of Vishesha. Because Vishesha applies only when we reach to the ultimate eternal substance which are further indivisible. Please mind, you cannot apply Vishesha to compound substances. You cannot apply Vishesha to me. I have humanness, that might be my Samanya. But I cannot say that I am Durga or something, that is my particularity. No. If you will break me down to the level of atom, then you can assign Vishesha to each individual atom. And that's what making them particular. Okay. So it is Nitya and it is eternal. That's what we have discussed. Please write all those terms like Nitya. Okay. And it is individual and that cannot be separated by parts. We will represent. And it is, there is some here while you are writing, please mention the criticism. Okay. So what is the criticism? Because these things like what you say, the Samanya or this one like Vishesha, they are more dependent on the thought. But Vaisheshika school has made them a separate category, a eternal independent substance category, which cannot be defined, which cannot be done because they are more dependent on our thought. So how can you make that? This is the criticism. It is there in your books. But let me tell what exactly it is asking, because it is asking critically evaluate. You have to write the criticism that is there. Okay. But it is asking the logical and metaphysical status. What is the logical status? What I discussed. Because for the compound objects, you can differentiate by breaking it into parts. But what you will do, which things which are not divisible now, like the atoms. So here, this is the logical necessity of bringing the Vishesha. Again, it is asking metaphysical status. Metaphysical status, it is eternal. It is Nitya. It is ultimate eternal substance. You can say it is like the other 7, it is also eternal. And it is a category of Vaisheshika school. And you can answer them. Okay, I feel you are clear about it. Now it is asking the last question, and in which many could not write the answer, because discuss the nature and relationship of Jiva and Jiva Shakshi according to non-dualism. Here non-dualism is Advaitva. So now let me tell you this concept very clearly, because this is a very beautiful concept, and if you are able to understand it, you can use it in many other circumstances. So Jiva and Jiva Shakshi, there is a there is a beautiful sloka in Rigveda, in Svetasvatara Upanishad, and also in Mundaka Upanishad, where it says that Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakha, something like that. Okay, that means it is saying that there is a tree. In the tree, there are two birds which are similar, and the two birds go there, and two birds are sitting on the tree. One bird, what it is doing, it is eating the fruits of the tree. When it is getting a very sweet fruit, it is getting very happy. When it is getting a very bitter fruit, it is throwing away these things and is getting very irritated. Then again he continues eating, and in between, when he gets very bitter fruits, he just looks upward and see that what the other bird is doing. The other bird is just sitting quietly, calmly. He is not eating the fruits. He is just observing. And he is very much inside towards in his own majestic glory. He is in his own absorption. And so you must be knowing who is the Jivana and who is the Jiva Shakshi. Sakshi means what? To be a witness. So here the Jiva is the bird who is eating all the fruits. And who is the Jiva Shakshi? Is the one who is watching this bird without eating something or doing something. It is just watching. It is being a witness to this bird. Okay. So now let us see. It is asking how does Advaitva interprets it. Okay. So now what happens? This bird is eating and he is getting happy sometimes, he is getting sad sometimes. And what happens in one moment? He gets a very bitter fruit and he says, I will not eat it anymore. And then he looks up to what the other bird is doing. He sees he is calm, composed, and he is unperturbed by all those things. So he thinks, why I can't be like that? And he moves nearer to that bird, and nearer to that bird. So I'll tell you what Advaita Vedanta interprets it. Because what happens after moving near to that bird differs as and when we change the philosophy. I'll tell you. If I'll tell you, you will understand. So basically, see, it is there in the Vedas and Upanishads. Every philosophy like Ramanuj, Advaitva, Visishtadvait, Dvaitvad, and everyone will interpret it in their own ways. So it is asking about Advaitva. So I am telling you the Advaita philosophy. Now, hear very carefully. This tree is samsara. The tree can be planted and uprooted. That's why the samsara can be made and destroyed. Why? When the wheel of ignorance goes, when you get Brahmagyan, when you get Brahmanubhuti. Now, what are the fruits in the bird? They are the fruits of your action. You are constantly eating your fruits of action that you have performed in the earlier. That is the adrashta. What happens when you are getting good fruits? That means when you are in pleasure, you are enjoying it. When you are in pain, you don't want it. And there you look that what is the reality of this world, and you look up to that bird. And who is that bird? He is Ishvara. Why is Ishvara? You could have said that Brahman. There are various interpretations, I am telling you. You could have said that Brahman because he is in samsara. And Brahman conditioned by Maya is Ishvara. And what is this Jiva? This is the self conditioned by Maya. Is the Jiva. So what happened? This Jiva is looking to that Ishvara. Both of are ultimately Brahman. Just because they are in the samsara, that the locus of which is made out of Maya, they think that they are different. This Jiva thinks that I am different than that. But that Ishvara or the Brahman is the Sakshi of this one. He is not. He is in his own glory. He is majestic. He is the Brahman. He is the Sat Chit Anand, the other bird. But here this guy, this Jiva, is conditioned by ignorance. He is inside all those things. And what he thinks that I am this, all those things. But later what happens? When he is fed up with this samsara, he thinks that I am not going to live in it anymore. And he moves towards knowing himself. As he moves nearer and nearer to that bird, what we say Ishwar, and then it is the Brahman. Both of them are Brahman. He just when he moves towards the bird, he realizes that, oh, I am and that bird are not different. We are the one. And a shining light envelops them and they become both one. This is Brahma Vida Brahmaiva Bhavati. Ishwar and the Jiva becomes one to know that they are the Brahman. What again is Ishwar? Ishwar is Brahman. Okay, in the Vyavaharik level we call it Ishwar. And who again is Jiva? Jiva is also Brahman. Ayam Atma Brahma, Pragyanam Brahma, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. 4 Mahavakyas. And here what happens? Brahma Vida Brahmaiva Bhavati. That Jiva Shakshi is the Ishwar. And this is the Jiva. I am not telling it Brahman. Why? Because they both are in Sansar. But you can tell them it Brahman. So Brahman and Ishwar, Brahman and Jiva, they are getting merged. No merge, because Jiva itself is getting into Brahman when he knows that I am the Brahman. So this is as per the non-dualism, because at the end, the Jiva and the Ishwar, they get into one and they merge and they are the Brahman. Merging is a very different word. I don't know, I cannot express what they are. Okay, I am feeling so beautifully entangled in all those things. But now comes, if you will, and many say, see Shankaracharya, that Dva Suparna Sayuja, that thing is given, Sakha. Dva is given, 2 is given Shankaracharya. How can you say that there is only one monism, Advaita? Shankaracharya says because that is in Vyavaharik level. But let us see how do other scholars interpret it. For Ramanuj and Dvaitvad, who believes that the Jiva is not identical to the Brahman, they believe that bird is the Ishwar, who is the Narayan, who is the Vishnu, whatever the word they say. And this bird, when he looks to it, it's devotion. When he gets pain from the normal Vyavaharik world and the Sansar, he looks to that bird and see, if I can become that, not if I can become that, if I can imbibe some qualities of that, if I can be calm and composed like that. And when at the end he moves towards that bird, it is the devotion of the bird. And they don't merge as per the the Dvaitavad. They both remain. But this guy realizes, knows the truth, and he gets enlightened and all those things. So this is something that is there. Jiva and Jiva Shakshi, it is asking as per Advait. Now after telling you the story, you can beautifully tell what exactly is Jiva and Jiva Shakshi. It is again asking you to differentiate between the ego and the self. To asking you, it is a difference between the phenomenal self and the transcendental self. So that's it. You can write the answer very beautifully. And this is all that is there. In fact, now that you have known about the Jiva and Jiva Shakshi, you can beautifully write them. Use those terms in your answers about Advaitavad. And this will fetch you good marks. You can write in Mundaka Upanishad, it is there. Dva, Suparna, Sayuja, Sakha, something like that. So this is something very important and you can write. Please write and you will get very good marks. I am hopeful that this series is helping you. Please take care, be happy, stay safe and all the best. Happy philosophizing. Namaste. SANNIDHAN series. Jai Hind. Bharat Mata ki Jai. Namaste.